If you don't control your search and analysis, you don't control your investment. That's why two properties that look the same online can produce completely different long-term outcomes. I'm Ken Brown. I've represented buyers exclusively for over 40 years. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I search for triple net properties on Crexi, and more importantly, how to separate the good deals from the ones that only look good on paper. Knowing your way around Crexi will help you find opportunities, and it's a great way to understand the net lease market. But before you start searching, there's something important to understand. Crexi is a listing platform. It is built to help sellers market their properties. It is not designed to represent your best interests as a buyer. In fact, every listing includes a disclaimer stating that the information has not been verified and comes with no guarantee of accuracy. In other words, you're on your own. That's not a reason to avoid Crexi, it's a reason to know how to use it correctly. So let me show you how to search and how to rank what you find. For this example, we're going to start looking for a Dollar General. I'll use a price range of $2 million to $2.5 million. You can adapt these parameters to your own search criteria. First, log into Crexi. Click Search, then click All Filters. In the first column, leave location blank. This keeps your options open nationally, which is important because the best deal isn't always in your backyard. Leave keywords blank. Set your minimum price to $2 million and your maximum to $2.75 million. I set the maximum slightly above my target price because there's almost always room to negotiate. Click Exclude Unpriced Listings. If a seller won't price a listing, they're usually just testing the market or fishing for an offer. Put in your minimum acceptable cap rate. I'll use 6%. Set your maximum cap rate. I'll use 9%. In my experience, anything above that usually signals a short-term lease, a credit issue, or a location problem. In the second column, type in Dollar General. Set minimum lease term remaining to 10 years. Skip lease type because many brokers label deals as triple net even when they aren't, just to get people to click on their listings. In the third column, set the listing timeline for 3 months. If a property has been on the market that long, it's either under contract or there's a reason other buyers have passed on it. Now, click on the Show Results button at the bottom right. This will bring up a list of properties and their offering memorandums, but there is no way to determine which property best meets your criteria, considering they all do. The first step in finding the property that meets your criteria is to export your list by clicking on the Export Results in the top right-hand corner. This will export all the listings into a single spreadsheet that allows you to sort by individual columns. So, how do you know which property is actually the best deal? Crexi helps you find listings, Excel helps you organize them, but neither one tells you which property will hold its value, appreciate over time, or protect you when the lease expires. That depends on the fundamentals of the location itself: population, median household income, growth trends, employment density, crime patterns, and the long-term demand profile of the market. This is where most buyers fall short. They simply don't have access to the tools needed to evaluate location risk properly. And this is why independent, unbiased analysis is so important. This is where working with a buyer's broker like NNN Property Search makes a real difference. We use proprietary analytical tools to go well beyond what Crexi shows you, because the property and its location, not just the tenant, are what determine whether your investment holds its value over time. Here's a real example. Two Dollar General properties that appear nearly identical on Crexi, same tenant, similar cap rate, similar price, but their long-term risk profiles can be completely different. The property ranked number 1 has a population of 114,000, a positive growth rate, and a median household income of nearly $90,000, supported by a strong, diverse employment base. And the crime rate index for that location is 56, nearly half the national average of 100. For a buyer thinking about lease renewal and resale value 10 to 15 years from now, that's a meaningful advantage. Now look at the property ranked second. At first, it looks solid. Good population, strong annual growth rate, but the crime rate inside its service area is 35% above the national average. Today, that may not affect the income stream because it's an absolute triple net. But near the end of the lease term, 10 to 15 years from now, that crime trend will directly impact lease renewal probability, the quality of any replacement tenant, and the cap rate you'll face at resale. This is exactly why demographic scoring matters. Cap rate alone doesn't tell you whether the underlying real estate is getting stronger or quietly getting weaker. Only location data can tell you that. When you understand what you're looking at and you have a buyer's broker who isn't pushing their own listings, you can move forward with a letter of intent with genuine clarity and confidence. At N&N Property Search, we've helped hundreds of buyers acquire triple net properties using disciplined buyer-focused analysis. Properties that have stood the test of time because we did the homework up front. If you're ready to find your next triple net property or just want a second opinion on something you're already looking at, reach out to us at nnpropertysearch.com. Tell us what you're looking for, and we'll show you what the listing doesn't.